So, welcome to part 2. I only went through 5 DVDs in the last part, I noticed, which is not much, but I guess I have had a lot to say about them. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies to go through in this part. First off is Defiance, which was about $4, and the next time I was at that store I found for $2. But, no big deal, because it was still pretty cheap. And this movie is pretty much set in World War II, and it's about these 3 brothers. I don't know if he had too much to do with it, but they sort of, if I remember correctly, they form a society for Jews in the forests to be more free. Like it's the only place where you can be a Jew and be free, sort of, or have more things to say. Stupid vocabulary. I don't know, but well, I thought it was a good movie. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about it, but stars Daniel Craig and Liev Schreiber and Jamie Bell. And yeah, it's recommended, definitely. Next is a really famous one that I thought I would like much more, but it's Memento. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was good, but I wasn't really blown away by it at all. It was a good movie. I don't know. I thought it was kind of hard to follow, I have to admit. But I didn't understand first the sort of twist in the ending or the beginning, whatever, however you want to see it. And maybe if you don't know what the movie is about, that's not gonna make any sense. But whatever. But when the whole movie was over, it made more sense, and I was gonna rewatch the whole thing from the beginning right after, but I didn't really want to, so I turned it off after a while. But I think I understand the whole movie, or most of it. There are details I don't understand, but maybe it's one of those movies that you can't watch once and get everything, because it seems like Christopher Nolan really focused on the details in this movie. Yeah. So the scenes in color is in backwards, and the scenes in black and white is in chronological order. So it was done very, very cool, and how it. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a spoiler, but I say that a lot. I'm sorry if you need to sort of be aware of spoilers all the time, but when the black and white switches into color and just the whole movie makes a lot of sense. And yeah, that's great, but just overall wasn't a big fan of it. But anyway, next is Trauma Film, Terror Firmer. This was a fun one. It's definitely splatter comedy, but it wasn't really frightening or scary whatsoever. So I don't know if I would say that it's horror, but yeah, it's very gory and gross. Involves tons of gore and blood and vomit and feces and snot and everything. So if you have a weak stomach, then this might not be the one. But it's it's funny and recommended. I think it's a pretty good one. Next is the Kite Runner, which my dad is someone who really doesn't watch a lot of movies, but this one he recommended to me about a year ago, I think, and finally checked it out. It took me a while, but I really liked it. I thought it was great. I mostly liked the first part in the story, where the 2 are children here, and they compete in the kite competition, and that thing with the bullies that really made me feel sorry for that. I'm not sure who it was, Amir or Hassan, but you know, the little guy who gets raped, I guess. Well, he gets raped, yeah. So anyway, and then the part 10 years after and then 20 years after in America, I thought that was really good too. And just the whole movie is really good, and I would definitely recommend it. So yeah, then three $2 ones, 3 DVDs for $2. First, Karlitos Way with Al Pacino and Sean Penn. I thought this was great. Give it 8 out of 10. Mainly because of the whole ending, like last half hour maybe, or 20 minutes. I don't remember how long it was, but that was really good. I love those kinds of scenes that has the camera moves a lot, but it's only one take. So in the end, in the train station or subway, and the escalator part and just everything in mostly one take, that was just great. I love those scenes. And this is a movie that has been in the cheap bins in Sweden for a long time. I've seen them there many times, so I just figured it was probably crap. But definitely wasn't. I pretty long after that, I saw that it had a very high rating on most places, and people seemed to really love it, so decided to check it out. And it was only $2, and that's cheap. And I loved it, so yeah. And then we got Lord of the Rings, the animated one. Lord of the Rings, the Peter Jackson movies are... I can't pick one, but the whole trilogy is my favorite movie, or movies, of all time. So I want to see this one, and was gonna pay a while back. I thought of paying was 70 crowns, but now I found it for $2, which is like 15 crowns, so a lot cheaper. So that's great. I didn't like this one though. I thought it was so weird at times. Well, first of all, they ended after the second movie, after the Two Towers, and I don't know if there's a sequel to this. I haven't heard about any, but that's just really weird that they would make this movie based on the two first movies and ignore the Return of the King. I think they mentioned something in the ending that it's not over, or I think then some narration that says something about I'm not sure. I can't remember very much of that, but yeah. And one thing that I wanted to say is about the animation. Mostly it looked just regular, but for example, at that place, I can't remember the name, but where they're supposed to meet Gandalf and they meet Aragorn instead, the animation of the other characters, the other people there, was really fucking creepy. I don't know what they did with the animation, but it just looked very strange and bizarre, totally different. And also, this wasn't really the same, but the orcs, among other creatures, and they looked very weird. Just, I don't know how to explain it, but they looked weird, and so that was kind of strange. And it just, overall, this movie feels pretty rushed, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Then the last one is called Biloxi Blues, with Matthew Broderick and Christopher Walken. Pretty much a World War II comedy movie. I really like the ending when he does the push-ups. You know, that's not really saying a spoiler, but I thought that was great. And yeah, overall it's decent, but nothing special. I'm sorry, I'm just really tired of sitting on the floor talking about DVD, since I mentioned in the beginning of part 1, that I made this already, and then noticed at the time the limit was too high. But yeah, anyway, this is it, and thank you for watching, and see you in my next video.